Hello and welcome to Canada Immigration Guide. Today we are going to talk about the latest processing time for study visas, work visas and visitors visas. Before that, remember to subscribe, like, share and leave a comment. When people from other countries consider moving to Canada, one of the first questions they ask is how long the visa journey will be. Each visa has a unique application procedure and processing period. The length of time it takes Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada (ircc) to complete your application once they receive it is referred to as the processing time for Canadian visas. This is also referred to as the ircc or CIC processing time frames. But regardless of its name, it is the one that determines how willing people will be to wait. So, how long is the processing time for visas in Canada, and what is the government doing to improve this? Well, let's get started. At the beginning of the year 2022, a substantial new strategy for accelerating the processing of immigration applications to Canada was put into effect. The bulk of the new initiatives that were reviewed by Canada's Minister of Immigration, Sean Fraser, are aimed at lowering the amount of time it takes to process applications for many of the immigration programs that are the most popular in the country. Modifications are being implemented by the ircc in order to cut down on the backlog of visa applications and speed up the timeframes for processing immigration applications in Canada 2023. With an increase in personnel levels and the addition of additional resources, Canada is making substantial efforts to decrease the amount of time it takes to process immigration applications. These efforts are aimed at assisting newcomers in adjusting to life in Canada. In late 2022, the Government of Canada informed the public of a significant change in the processing timetables of immigration applications to Canada 2022. The prolonged processing timeframes are a direct result of the backlog of 2.4 million immigration applications that Canada has accumulated over the course of the past 2 years. During its update, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada (ircc) included revised processing data, ideas for lowering processing times, as well as projected processing times for the balance of the year. How many Canadian immigration applications are waiting to be processed? The combined ircc inventory contains a total of 2.4 million applicant submissions. These are the accurate numbers as of the 31st of July in 2022. It is not out of the ordinary for Canada to always keep a significant number of applications in stock. Actually, the conditions set out by the ircc for service can still be satisfied by 1.1 million apps, currently part of the inventory. According to the aim of the department, the processing time for 80% of the applications fall within the acceptable range. It is not uncommon to have more than 1 million applications in the processing queue at any given time. However, as of right now, more than 1.3 million applications, which is equivalent to 54% of all applications, have satisfied the requirements set out by the ircc for service. Backlogged applications have been determined to have exceeded the required level of service. This suggests that ircc is not even coming close to fulfilling the processing goals it has set for itself. Does ircc have the plan to speed up the immigration application processing? Yes. The Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada (ircc) is implementing a variety of steps to cut down on the backlog of immigration applications. By the end of the fall, the ircc will have employed up to 1,250 additional staff employees in order to increase its capacity for processing applications and remove the backlog that has accumulated. The ircc is also implementing enhancements in order to keep processing times as short as possible in the long run. After receiving an additional $85 million from Canada's Economic and Fiscal Update 2021, the ircc digitized more applications for more programs and introduced technology-based solutions in order to assist in quicker processing times in the long run. In addition, ircc has pledged to frequently disclose data on its website in order to keep applicants informed of anticipated processing times. In its announcement on August 24, the ircc published data from the month of July. This data included particular statistics reflecting the existing and projected processing timelines for various kinds of immigration applications. So, what are the timing estimates for the processing of applications for temporary residency, As of the 31st of July in 2022, 1.4 million requests for temporary residency in Canada were still outstanding. These include software for the job and student visa applications, as well as applications for guest visas. 580,000 or 41% of the applications were handled in compliance with the service requirements established by the IRCC. The IRCC projects that its current backlog of work permits applications will expand to around 60% of applications by the end of the year, from its previous level of approximately 30% of applicants. According to the IRCC, it is anticipated that the backlog will decrease dramatically in 2023 and return to 30% by the month of March. Within 60 days, it is anticipated that 80% of all requests for work permits made from outside Canada will have been processed in Canada. The service standard for IEC work permits is 56 days, which is slightly less than the average. This year, Canada has received hundreds of thousands of applications under the Canada-Ukraine Authorization for Emergency Travel Program. This program had not been planned for due to the situation in Ukraine, and as a result, the number of people applying for work visas in Canada has increased dramatically. What about the processing times for applications for study permits? The IRCC forecasts that the backlog of study permit applications it is now processing will rise from its current level of around 31% to approximately 42% between now and the beginning of the autumn semester. It is expected that there will be a seasonal increase in applications because this is the time of the year when many students from other countries will begin their studies. According to the IRCC, it is anticipated that a backlog will rapidly decrease in 2023 and reach 23% by the month of March. It is expected that Canada will take 60 days to process 80% of applications for study permits that are submitted from outside the country, while it will take 120 days to process applications that are submitted from within the nation. And what about the times required to process applications for tourist visas? Several applications for visiting visas are now experiencing backlogs in processing. As of the 31st of July, 67% of the applications for visiting visas were still being processed. The IRCC anticipates, albeit cautiously, that this ratio will have decreased to 58% by the time March 2023 rolls around. So, do you think that the IRCC will be able to cut the backlog, and will they meet the standards required? Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching this episode. Hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.